Hey everybody, and welcome back to Thru the Garden. Welcome to the spooky episode of Thru the Garden on this Halloween week. I'm Alex. I'm here with Jordan and Tommy.
Hello.
Good to see you, boys. I wish that this podcast had happier circumstances, but unfortunately, even after a few nights, we are still flabbergasted by what happened on Sunday evening just after 6:30 local time. It has been a national topic of news. Everyone's talking about it, from ESPN to First Take to Pat McAfee to everybody. Everybody's talking about what happened in Washington, D.C. on Sunday between the Bears and Commanders. A game that was 90% shit for the Bears, looked like they were going to defy the odds and they were going to snap victory from the jaws of defeat. And then a bigger alligator came around and ate them. So, guys, welcome to the show. I'm sure you're still feeling feelings that I am right now. So I'll just get right to it. How you guys doing?
I mean, good. I know it's like kind of crazy to say, but like, I feel like us as Bears fans, we've come to expect the worst. I do think tonight's episode is going to be a little bit of a funeral of the Tommy character we saw last week. Because the Bears played on Sunday and almost was a direct contradiction of that. So I think I will defer some of this time to Tommy. Tommy, how are you doing?
Look, we saw a lot of idiocracy happen on Sunday afternoon, and the biggest idiot might be in the bottom portion of this screen. I'm just an idiot. I'm an idiot. Like, it is what it is. Like, I'm stupid. I'm stupid for allowing myself to think that this team was no longer stupid, that this franchise was no longer stupid. We'll get into the specifics, I'm sure. I don't have too much to say, which is subject to change when we get riled up here, but I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Straight up, I'm an idiot. The play happened and I laid face down on my floor for like 20 minutes. And if I can find the picture on my phone, I'll pull it up so you guys can see it. But I'm just an idiot. That's all I have to say. I'm an idiot.
This chair I'm sitting in right now, you guys can't see it, but I have my personal TV right here, right next to this desk, and this is where I watch the game. This is exactly where I sat for 10 minutes like a statue. I didn't move. I didn't blink. Not a single fiber inside of me moved. Not one. I just sat there. I said nothing. I didn't yell. I didn't scream. I didn't swear. I didn't curse to the heavens. It was just sitting there silent like a statue for 10 straight minutes. Finally, I said, okay, me and Sean Hotman with Swirsky Sports, we got to record our episode because we record our episodes at 7 Sunday night. And it was about 10 minutes before we were getting ready to record. And after 10 minutes of not moving, I got up, went downstairs, and I was off work the next day. So I felt fine doing this. Went downstairs, grabbed one of the bottles of liquor and brought it upstairs.
There you go.
And then started pounding it as we recorded Swirsky Sports. Be sure to check that out if you're interested.
Yeah, for sure.
There's
me, boys.
There you are. Behind, yeah, that is okay. Zoom in. This is like a crime photo.
Yeah.
20 minutes I laid there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I stand by it. Like, maybe in my past it could have gotten worse, but I don't know.
I think a few years ago I would have thrown my chair at the TV. But at this point,
nothing's worth it anymore.
It was funny, Alex. You had mentioned, like, for most of the game, it looked for sure like the Bears were going to lose. So, being the editor of a Bears website was just kind of getting some stuff like ready to be published as soon as the game finished. And then I was like, oh shit, the Bears were ahead. So I'm like, now I gotta reshift the narrative of the stuff that was about to go out. And I was like, oh, nope, the Bears lost in quite,
Bearsy
unbelievable
fashion.
Yeah, in unbelievable fashion. So I had to kind of shift back to what my original message was, and the original message has nothing really to do with the actual play itself from Jaden Daniels on the Hail Mary touchdown pass. I wrote countless times this week. There's no true like defense other than prevent of a Hail Mary. There's different things you can do to get your players in the right position. And I think once we saw late on Sunday night, one of the players clearly not in position, a total of 4.1 seconds, taunting fans as the play was going on. That was just the primary instance of a coaching staff that can't live up to the moment whenever it gets hot.
Yeah, that's Tyreek Stevenson this, Tyreek Stevenson that. I get being upset with him. He has every right to feel like crap because he did let every single Bears fan down in that moment. I was not there, obviously, but a lot of the things that I've read on the internet says that the Bears fans were not playing with him. They were telling him to turn around and play football. The fans in the stands were telling the player to play football and go to his position. I also saw
the play started already.
Right,
I also saw a clip that I did see a side by side of the play happening and Caleb's reaction. And I don't know if this is what he was doing, but right before the snap, he's telling somebody to get over. And obviously he's looking in the direction of the Bears defense, but I don't know if he was telling Tyreek to get over or not, but it sure looks like he was a little bit.
Quick note on that. Caleb doing that is problematic. It wasn't about Tyreek Stevenson. It was about the Bears defensive backs as a whole. He was motioning them to move forward and kind of protect the sidelines.
Sure.
Because again, it's something that your head coach should be doing. The fact that you have a rookie quarterback
that's out there doing it. Yeah. I didn't know what he was doing. It just looked like it was just feeding the narrative,
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so look, Tyreek Stevenson, that was a mistake. He's one of our better players, and that's something that he cannot do as a leader on the defense. And I think he did a good job of acknowledging it and saying that I messed up. I was the person that was supposed to be there, and I wasn't. Like he did the tweet. He spoke to the media. All reports indicate that he spoke to the team. Whatever. I'm not going to beef with Tyreek Stevenson right now because the problem is that Tyreek Stevenson was put in a position to not respect a game like that by the leadership in this godforsaken franchise. And Matt Eberflus, I consider me more out on him than I ever was Matt Nagy, John Fox. I don't care. I am more out on Matt Eberflus than I have ever been out on anybody, Mark Trestman, anybody that's been the head coach of the Chicago Bears. He is an idiot. He is a liar. He's manipulative. He is everything that all people think of their exes. Like he is such an idiot. He talks out of his ass. He tries to protect himself. He's got a locker room full of players begging for some accountability in the words that they chose in the media. And he's out there saying he's on cap right first thing on Monday morning saying that he didn't call a timeout because everybody was in position. Tyreek Stevenson is drinking a beer in the stands.
How do you not see that? You had
everybody was
in
position. And then to say that's not even what's crazy is that's not even the worst part. Anybody else in the NFL would get fired for that instance. And it's not even the worst part. The worst part is the play before that where he said it didn't matter. He went from giving Jaden Daniels an 85-yard probable throw of mercy to giving him 50 yards and a tip and a touchdown to lose the game.
Keep them in bounds. The game's over before you even have a chance to throw that Hail Mary. When they gave him those free 15 yards, I'm like, oh no.
And everybody who talked in the media, except for Matt Eberflus And Shane Waldron and the coaching staff said, yeah, that was a mistake. We should have had everybody up guarding the sidelines. We should have made them do a stupid throw then.
Your rookie quarterback is more accountable
it is
for everything than you are.
absolutely maddening that we are recording this on Tuesday and people are going to listen to it on Thursday, and there will be zero accountability taken, zero action taken, and we're just going to keep on with the same thing over and over again. That's the Chicago Bears, and I'm an idiot for saying that we're not stupid anymore, because we are stupid and we will just be forever stupid. And I am back in the headspace of, I don't care who the quarterback is. Caleb Williams, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, John Elway, Joe Montana, Patrick Mahomes, any great quarterback who has ever lived puts on a Chicago Bears uniform, and they should just sell hot dogs in the stands instead, because we're never going to be anything. We are never going to win a Super Bowl with this godforsaken leadership and this family who just doesn't give a crap about what is happening on the field, but just wants nice people in the building. I'm sick of wanting nice people in the building. I want mean people in the building. I want people that are going to hold themselves and everybody in the locker room accountable. And if you don't, get your ass out. That's what I would like in this godforsaken franchise, but we're not going to get it because we're more worried about character and hits principles and
which your player defied the hits principles, by the way, by doing what he did.
And meanwhile, we're talking about all of this, and we're all upset about no accountability happening anywhere in the building, which it's Tuesday again that we're recording this. And then I read a tweet that says that the Vikings just made a trade for the left tackle from Jacksonville to beef up their offensive line. We have maybe 2 healthy offensive linemen right now, and they're not even good. And it's going to be like a 6th, 7th round pick, and Jacksonville is paying some of the salary to get him out. What are we doing? We're just sitting on our hands being like, well, we got some nice people in the building. Roschon Johnson is the only NFL player right now to score a touchdown on 100% of the time that he touches the ball within the 5-yard line. Do you know how many plays that he got to touch the football inside the 5-yard line on Sunday? Anybody? Any guesses? One. At least one. What did he do? He scored a touchdown. No, I got a better idea. You know how much fun we had with that guy on the score and the refrigerator every time he talked. Remember how fun that was? Let's just have some fun in this really tight game that kind of matters on national television. Let's just give him the ball. What's the worst that can happen? I'm out. I'm out of things to say. I'm an idiot.
I've been out on this guy since last year.
I'm an idiot.
People didn't want to listen.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
I wish Matt Eberflus, I thought that Matt Nagy was an inside trader for the Green Bay Packers when he came over. Matt Eberflus isn't that smart. He's not smart enough to be an inside guy for the Packers. Hey, practice. Hey, right. Hey, right. Shut up. You're an idiot. I don't want you as my head coach. I don't care if we go 10-8, 10-9, whatever the hell, however many games we play in a season. I don't care if it's a winning record. I don't care anything. I do not want him within a 3,000-mile radius of Chicago, Illinois. I hate him.
I do think you probably get your wish at the end of the season. But
I don't.
No, I do. Because here's the thing. When it comes to moving on from coaches, they don't do it in season. They don't do it the year that they were supposed to do it. They do it the year after they were supposed to do it. They were supposed to do it in January.
And because the McCaskies wouldn't, they wouldn't go for it. People could blame Ryan Poles all they want. It has McCaskey stink written all over it.
No,
He's
it
a cheap, dumb yes man. That's exactly what idiots like George McCaskey want.
So let's just say that this does happen. Matt Eberflus gets fired, right? It's what we all wanted. What did I say before Caleb Williams was even a possibility? Does anybody remember? John Fox Mitch Trubisky, John Fox out, Matt Nagy in, Mitch Trubisky, Justin Fields, Matt Nagy out, Justin Fields, Matt Eberflus in, Caleb Williams, Matt Eberflus out. Insert coach. Next quarterback in. Next coach fired. Next quarterback out. Next quarterback in. Here we go, kids.
Here's one thing I'm gonna push back on you, Tommy, just with the quarterback element of it, because you're 100% right. The Bears are repeating their history. I will push back on you that still on Sunday we saw things from the Bears quarterback that we haven't seen
1,000%.
in the fourth quarter. Something that Mitch hasn't done, something that Justin hasn't done. Caleb led the Bears, despite their coaching blunders, to 3 touchdown drives to give them the win. So I do think we have a quarterback that's capable of playing above the coach.
No. I'm with you. I am so with you, Jordan, because it's not going to be the Bears running the quarterback out of town. It's going to be the quarterback begging to get out of town.
No, I can't. I'm sorry. Like, I can't go dramatically to that side of Caleb seeing this and wants out of town. Like, everything Caleb has done shows that that's not the type of guy he is.
And this is not a bash on his character whatsoever. I promise you. And I know I'm cynical as hell right now, but we have that's the only piece left for a whole blackout bingo card of Bears football.
It is, but I just don't think it's realistic.
I mean, here's how I see it is you can fire Matt Eberflus, you can hire another coach, and Caleb Williams can still be very good. It's just not an ideal thing to do in this scenario. Unfortunately, my whole thing is, if you're going to fire Matt Eberflus, what cheap yes man are you going to hire next?
Yeah, it's not going to be Ben Johnson. It's not going to be who we want it to be.
No, it's going to be some guy. It's going to be some guy.
Correct.
And, I've said this many times. You look at the hires since Lovie Smith. The one that made the most sense, Matt Nagy made the most sense. That is one where I could say, you know what? You made the sensible hire and it didn't work. I'm not going to blame them for hiring Matt Nagy, but remember this. George McCaskey and Ted Phillips were wowed by the Canadian football guy and said no to Bruce Arians, the reigning coach of the year who wanted the job. And then we go forward. You have plenty of other reputable coaches. You go with Matt Eberflus. People don't really know much about him other than he's a pretty good defensive coordinator, and that still stands. He can coordinate a defense, but even look at his defensive coordinating when the game is on the line. This is why you have lost. Earlier this show, I held up this. You see these 4 fingers? What do these 4 fingers represent? What does 4 represent?
Tactics.
The historic losses. Historic losses. And remember last year when there were times where we said, hey, why aren't your best players on the field? When you blew that Cleveland game, why were your linebackers in coverage?
Montez Sweat was on the sideline.
Right. Why was Montez Sweat on the sideline? Why are your linebackers in coverage at a crucial point of the game? You've done a good job coordinating throughout, and your defense kept you in this game last Sunday. But when it mattered most, you gave them the space in the middle of the field to get to midfield, and you didn't defend the Hail Mary correctly. It's again, you're blowing it in the big situations. You had 3 timeouts. You had a chance earlier in the game to challenge a no catch that was clearly a no catch that you didn't challenge, even though you challenged much worse before. And if Matt Eberflus says, well, that's not my job, that's my other coach's job.
Right?
They're your coaches. They are
right?
your coaches.
It is Cam Robinson, the left tackle of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who is making his way to Minnesota. It's going to involve draft compensation and Jacksonville covering a significant portion of what is left on his $16
So they're going to get
contract.
they're going to get a veteran lineman for nothing.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Meanwhile,
up in Chicago.
Whittle.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan. You haven't talked in a while. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, there's plenty to be frustrated about. In terms of deals that either get made or don't get made. Unfortunately, the reporting over the past 2 weeks was the Bears weren't going to be active at the deadline, and I could point to you the main reason why. It's because of Sunday. The Bears, whether it's coaching, well, it definitely is coaching. Uh,
Yeah.
they're not capable of being a Super Bowl caliber team this year. So I don't think you're going to see them really be too active. I think there will be a trade or two, probably for
You gotta
offensive
get
line
some
depth. And
protection in there. You're gonna get him
no,
killed.
yeah, no,
They're not
100.
gonna do a thing.
Well, I think we have to do a better job of separating our anger with Matt Eberflus and what just isn't true with Ryan Poles. What has Poles done every single trade deadline? He's made moves. We're not talking about the Bulls who've made one trade since 2021. We're not talking about the Cubs.
That's fair.
We're not talking about the Cubs who just trade for fringe prospects, hoping they do good. Ryan Poles has been aggressive at the trade deadline, so I'm not going to take my frustrations with Matt Eberflus and Sunday's loss and extend that to a reputation of Ryan Poles that just isn't true. Ryan Poles does make moves.
Is Matt Eberflus Ryan Poles' guy?
See, the Bears will say yes. I say no, just based on the timing.
They gave Ryan Poles a list of guys they approved to hire. That is what the McCaskies do.
Yeah.
And John Harbaugh or Jim Harbaugh will never be on that list.
Right.
As many other guys will not be on that list. They better change their attitude after this. I mean, I would truly love to sit down with George McCaskey and say, do you like watching these games, these historic losses? Aren't you tired that your rival has beaten you to a pulp over the last 30 years?
Yeah, get ready.
Yeah, that every team in your division is great and they're better than you and they're better coached. Do you not see this? Do you not care about this?
It is blatantly obvious that the biggest problem on the field is the offensive line.
Yeah.
But it is blatantly obvious that problem is like minuscule compared to what is happening on the sidelines.
Correct.
Right.
And
correct.
It's so obvious to everybody that is not inside the Chicago Bears building. And that's where the problem is.
Yeah. And I will push back. Oh, not push back. I will push back on what I said earlier about Matt Eberflus not being Ryan Poles' guy, because I think the initial hire, to Alex's point, wasn't really one that Poles was in control of. He was given 3 finalists. By the way, one of those finalists ran circles around Matt Eberflus on Sunday, Dan Quinn.
But think of all the people that were like, no, we can't have a defensive head coach.
But bald. They still hired one anyway.
He's bald, Tommy. He can't have the glow up that Matt Eberflus had this past summer.
That's a good point. And he wears his hat backwards. That's very disrespectful.
I know. What are we doing here? But going back to what I was saying, I think Ryan Poles kind of accidentally made Eberflus his guy last January when it was a historic coaching cycle, just in terms of the coaching names that were out there. Instead of making that switch to align your head coach with your rookie quarterback, he doubled down.
You had the perfect out to do it. Yeah. You had the perfect excuse to do it.
Yeah, and instead of doing that, he doubled down on Eberflus. So I think that decision then made Matt Eberflus Ryan Poles' guy, and it sucks because in January now, there's a chance Ryan Poles is going to say, oh, well, we constructed the roster, but as a head coach, I was wrong. When he had the opportunity to just get this all right last January and didn't. And the fact that he didn't, for everything that I do think Ryan Poles has done right when it comes to the Bears roster, missing on bringing back Eberflus this year is a huge mistake that
massive
outweighs a lot of the good that he did with the roster.
I'm sorry, but there are parallels. There are just parallels.
Not parallels.
There are.
So let me ask you guys this: have you guys ever seen on the final play of a game a quarterback scramble for over 60 yards to score a game-winning touchdown?
I'm sick of talking about it. Like
No, I just
this isn't
Spy.
this isn't the
because
story.
no, well, it is. I'll tell you why. Because whether it was Eberflus, whether it was his defensive coordinator, Eberflus is de facto defensive coordinator. He had T.J. Edwards be a spy
I
on
know.
Jaden Daniels.
I know.
So the play
Hilarious.
itself isn't the story. The coaching behind the play is why it's a reminder of, like Alex and I entering the season, for as great as Eberflus does look, he looks good. Shout out his barber. I have questions about him as a head coach, and there's nothing I'm seeing that's changed
Eberflus
that.
has so many fireable offensive plays on tape, and he just did his 2 worst back to back, and we're doing nothing about it.
There's no
He's getting
accountability.
away.
There's no
He is
emotion.
getting away with murder.
Yeah.
It's insane. It.
We need
This
to
is-
do.
This is a loss that, like, we all have a list of people. I tweeted this out too. We all have a list of people that we only hear from when bad things happen to our sports teams, right?
Yep.
Lit up. I was absolutely lit up. And I didn't respond to a single one of them. And so if you're watching this, thanks for watching, but I'm not going to respond to you. Like I'm so sick of having these losses
Yeah.
because it happens 1, 2, 3 times a year, at least
Mhm.
twice, because 2 of them are the Packers.
And that's what's crazy. We're talking about the Bears coaching staff being in a self-inflicted crisis, and we're only entering week 9 now. So we still have the whole second half of the
And
season.
we still have the most
Yeah,
important
exactly.
games to go.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving is going to suck.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be regurgitating my turkey.
Yeah, I know. I'll be.
Yeah, we won't even be eating yet.
I know.
It's the first game. We're going to be
I
eating
know.
sad turkey.
And then
I
I'll
know.
regurgitate it, thinking about it.
Yeah. Tommy, you'd mentioned that Eberflus is kind of reaching Mark Dressman levels for you. I will say, what's coming out from the players, not when they speak at Hallis Hall, but when they do their radio hits, it's definitely giving, like, this locker room is about to become fractured because they do not.
Happening.
Yeah, they do not care to drop names. They do not care to call out the coaching staff. And here's the thing: as long as Matt Eberflus is going to continue his lack of accountability when speaking with the press, I have no issue with the players going on to their respective interviews and telling it like it is, because there has to be an adult in the room. For so many Bears seasons, the adult in the room hasn't been the head coach, and this just seems to be another one of those seasons.
So when is Ryan Poles going to step up and be a leader here and call Eberflus out on this? Not publicly, obviously, because they're obviously not going to do that. I have no faith that those conversations are being had behind closed doors.
Well, you shouldn't, because that's fast. Let's rewind back to Matt Nagy's final year with the Bears. There was a report Thanksgiving week that he was fired.
Yeah.
Not going to be fired, not will be fired after the end of the season. There was a report that he was fired. The Bears general manager, the Bears ownership, didn't even address the report until they sent out a leak on Thanksgiving, like, oh yeah, we're not sure where that report came from. So for as much as we want to say Ryan Poles is different, the kingmakers in the Bears organization will always be the McCaskies.
Correct.
So we're not going to see any type of Ryan Poles coming out.
You just said it. No. You just said it. You just said it. Who calls the shots? The McCaskey family calls the shots.
That's correct.
It doesn't matter who the general manager is, who the head coach, they're calling the shots, which is why I will stay cynical and say we are just in the same cycle over and over again.
Wow.
No,
you sound like me now. Welcome to the club.
It's all.
This is what I've been saying.
To quote the wise John Fox, it's all a problem.
Oh, my monkey.
I just like
died of a heat stroke. That was the
I
most
I am
memorable moment
not.
on Fox.
I refuse to get riled up about the Packers game. I refuse.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah,
And if statements aren't made on Sunday, like against Arizona, who's a very frisky team, quite honestly.
You don't know what you're going to get from them. It feels like a coin flip. They're either going to look like dog shit or they're going to look surprisingly
Well, you
good.
got to make them look like dog shit now. You have no choice.
Well, yes, you do.
Yeah.
You do. You do.
You have no choice.
unfortunately, that would require Eberflus Bears doing something they've never done since he's been the head coach, winning a road game on a Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah. And they're 3-17 or 3-18 now on the road during this whole tenure. And this gets into the next point I wanted to talk about because here's the reality. Had the Bears not blown the game the way they did, and had they not scored that go-ahead touchdown, had they lost 9-7, 12 to whatever it was, had they lost 12-7,
Yeah.
we'd be talking about how ill-prepared and undisciplined they were after a bye week. You came in on a bye week completely unprepared. You were taking terrible penalties. There was no discipline in the play. You couldn't scheme your guys open. The offensive line was terrible. And, first 3 quarters, Caleb Williams didn't look good. He was very, very off with his accuracy.
He had to run for his life.
He did. And he ran effectively, but the throws just were not accurate early on. And I do think that, one thing that I will look at Caleb and say is, listen, you say you don't get nervous. That looked nervous to me.
Yes.
That looked a little amped up to me.
Sunday's tape says otherwise.
Yeah. So, I mean, it looked more like week 1 against Tennessee, but unlike week 1 against Tennessee, you got it together when it mattered most. The throw to DJ Moore was incredible. That's what we wanted to see. Another thing you can point out about the coaching too, and you could look at Shane Waldron for this. We talked about the Doug Kramer handoff, but where's Cole Kmet? Why is Gerald Everett getting more touches again? This is what you did the first 3 weeks and it didn't work. What are we doing?
I don't know.
What is going on?
That
One
was a
target.
mistake.
One target for Cole Kmet.
Yeah, I have nothing bad to say about Caleb for Sunday. It didn't look good, but I'm gonna give him so much leeway here. He had to run for his life.
No.
The offensive line was terrible, and the play calling was terrible. He has to do what he's told. Like he had to make something of nothing, and he struggled. And credit to him in the fourth quarter because he figured like
give up.
He did not give up, and he waited it out, and it worked out. And DeAndre Swift was incredible on the ground.
And he's the player of the game in my opinion.
They just didn't, and they were just like, too good. Got to do something else.
Well, I mean, we just touched on it. DeAndre Swift balled out that game, especially in the second half. If we go back to the series when Roshan Johnson scored his touchdown, what was the call on the first down play? Do you guys remember?
It was a passing. It was like a floating passing play.
Right.
I didn't get that.
It makes no sense when you're in a goal line situation, and I think you were closing in on a minute left in the game. Well, you have all 3 of your timeouts.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can run the ball. You can literally run the ball so that the commander was sure. Eventually, they're going to let you score. They probably wouldn't have done it on that first down play. They would have stopped you. If they stop you, the commanders have to use their final timeout that they had.
Yeah.
But instead, you call a pass that was.
Before they even lined up, I told my wife, I was like, they're going to do something stupid here.
Yeah.
And sure enough.
Shout out Corey Blassigan, who was cut on Friday. Probably would have been good for.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the fullback.
Oh, yes. Sorry.
Probably would have been good when you call a fullback dive play to have an actual fullback.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, not mad at Caleb. Not mad at the players. Mad at Tyreek Stevenson, but that's only going to take me so far.
And here's the thing. There's. I'm not one of these fans that have to see a player punished as some type of justification.
What are they going to do?
If you're one of those fans that want either him to be benched to start the Cardinals game or benched entirely for the Cardinals game, you're an idiot because
The Bears
for
would be
as
terrible
I was about
without
to-
him.
for as bad as that play was, Stevenson is still one of the best secondary members that the Bears have. And here's the thing: if he's not playing, and the Cardinals just decide to put Marvin Harrison Jr. against Terrell Smith, I'm taking
over.
Marvin Harrison Jr. in that matchup all day.
Yeah, Tyreek had a bad game.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that last play. It was he had a bad game. He had some bad penalties called on him. He was out of place multiple times. He had a bad game. It happens. They have bad games. They're human.
Yeah,
Sometimes we have bad days at work. Like it happens.
from a play perspective, like you said, everyone has bad plays. What the Bears have enabled with Tyreek, and it goes back to last year, is some of his antics before
Sure.
and after the play.
Sure.
Because
It's got
if
yeah,
you're
it can't happen.
look at the coach we saw yesterday, Mike Tomlin on the Steelers. What would have happened if Tyreek, the first time he did it, because
He would have
mind you,
punched him in the face.
mind you, Sunday wasn't the first time Tyreek poked a player in the face and got a penalty. He did it against the Texans.
Yeah.
And why did he do it again on Sunday? Because no one held him accountable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
It's a
and look,
coaching
he's a fiery young player, and he doesn't have any leadership telling him otherwise. You're absolutely right. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, am I mad he did it? Yeah. Do I think they're going to punish him? No. Like, do I think they should? No, because
No.
like this is your job. His punishment really is he's going to have to watch that play for a very long time.
The rest
And
of the season,
he had Pat McAfee calling him an asshole on his show multiple times.
I saw the segment where McAfee was reading some of the tweets.
Yeah.
I was rolling. That was great.
Yeah. I mean, like that, there's your punishment. Like everybody thinks you're a bad teammate now. Go prove them otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, and I think there would have been a more justifiable way to do some sort of punishment had you known that Brisker and Gordon are going to be healthy, but we don't know that yet. So you kind of don't have a choice to do that if you wanted to, because you don't want to mess things up, but you do have to send some sort of message because it's inexcusable.
It's just weird to have him sit out though, because it's like, hey, we're gonna punish you by making you do your job less. Like it's just weird.
This isn't like Texas going up against like a FAC school. This
Right.
is the Bears going up against another NFL team. You can't afford to bench one of your starting cornerbacks.
You're not gonna make. You can't make a statement like that. If he was a nobody, cut him. Like they would have just cut him. I would like the
shout out Velus Jones.
Velus would have made sure nobody caught that.
R.I.P. Velus Jones. Yeah, now he's on Jacksonville.
He's on Jacksonville now. I'm telling you what, boys. I might do a Velus anytime touchdown on Sunday.
Godspeed. Have you seen the Jacksonville schedule?
I have.
Just peek at that before you get crazy. They're done. They're toast.
Yeah, they're done. Yeah.
I can't believe Doug Peterson is still employed there.
As we do like whip around across the league. Another reminder of just like how bad Matt Eberflus is when shit hits the fan is if you watch the Green Bay game, Jordan Love went out, Malik Willis came in, didn't miss a beat. And it's something that, Alex and I have definitely said since the beginning of the season. Eberflus, in comparison to the NFC North coaches, he's not even in the same discussion right now. And we saw it on Sunday because whenever something goes wrong with Green Bay, particularly their quarterback going out, Malik Willis, who was a lot of people laughed at as a quarterback prospect coming into this season, the floor has turned him around.
Yep.
I have a question for you guys that I just thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
let's start with this. How many of the Bears 5 wins, right? 5 wins? 6 wins? 4 wins? 4 wins.
Yeah, 4 and 3.
How many of the Bears' 4 wins do you credit Matt Eberflus for?
Maybe Tennessee, but
with
Tennessee,
maybe. The defense won that game.
Yeah, Tennessee's a fair one. A fair one. The other 2 were offensive explosions, right? And then, or the other 3, I guess I should say.
Well, I will say
there is a second part to this.
I thought he schemed the Rams pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
All right,
I
Rams
would
were
agree with
also
that.
very banged up,
I know.
They were extremely banged up at
but
that game,
they
yeah.
schemed them pretty well.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay,
not going to
so-
say
I
that
agree.
was all Matt Eberflus, but I do
So
think they
you-
were well prepared
So
for that
two
game.
of the 4, you'll credit him with a win.
Yeah.
I'll give him his props. Like
Okay.
I'll give him,
it's not like, because here's the thing, it's not like a full credit, but I will say he helped them a
contributed to the Bears
Yes,
winning the game.
Yeah, he contributed.
In
I'm
2
good
of the
with that
4
credit.
wins, he contributed to helping the Bears win the game.
Yeah, I'm good
Okay.
with that.
How many of the losses would you credit him for?
like this year or in his,
Of the 3 losses this season, how many do you feel like he gave them the path to the loss?
well, this past one for sure.
Correct.
And I would say the game in Indy. Him
Yeah.
and Waldron were both.
But
Yeah.
Houston I don't care how good Houston was or anything, but he blew 2 challenges.
He did, but that Houston game was a little strange.
But the challenges.
I don't disagree. I don't.
No,
Yeah.
this is not a thumbs up.
Well, no, because the thumbs up just agrees with your point about the challenges.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with the challenges, but there were a lot of rookie moments for Caleb in that game, and I really do think that the Texans kind of fell asleep in that game.
I won't disagree with that, but I just feel like
No, yeah.
I don't think
I'd
it was
say-
egregious in the Texans game as it
No, I'd
was
say, yeah.
in Indy or in
Yeah, I say
Washington.
Washington and Indy for sure.
okay.
Only thing I
That's
would
fair.
put on the Texans game is the offensive coordinator, Shane Waldron. But I think that comes to like your offensive coordinator is an extension of the head coach, just because the head coach signed off on the hiring. But here's the thing: to Alex's point, I think Houston just wasn't clicking, because I think Houston, regardless of what Eberflus did or didn't do in that game, was
They had a
was
billion
going
penalties,
to
yeah.
and they were going to blow the Bears. They should have blown the Bears.
They
out.
really should
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
won that game handily. And
Yeah.
that's the only loss this year where I really wasn't that upset after it. I'm like,
Right.
okay, that just,
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I was just pretty disgusted after
That was
Indy.
Caleb's second game.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So that's right. Yeah. But definitely for sure, Indy and obviously Sunday.
I
So you're
feel like the
talking
Bears
2 of the
should
3 for sure.
Yeah, the Bears should have won in Indianapolis.
Yes.
And the
Yeah,
Bears
agreed.
should have won on Sunday in Washington. So
It's
Agreed,
like they
yeah.
should and they shouldn't have. Like,
Mhm.
the way they played most of the game, they shouldn't have, but they were in a position to win
Well,
at the
yeah.
end, and they didn't.
yeah.
That's what's crazy, is because here we are, I think we all would have said entering the fourth quarter, the Bears don't deserve to win this game.
Yeah.
No.
And then, yet at some point in the fourth quarter, the Bears had over a 96% chance of winning
Yeah.
the game.
I mean, I took
So,
them I
yeah.
took them plus 850 on the money line at halftime.
I know. So did
I should have
took them.
cashed out when they were giving me basically all the money.
I did.
I looked at it. I
The
looked
know.
at it.
Commanders left that door open for you the
So
entire game.
here's my final
Dang.
question, and then I'm Eberflused out. I'm an
Yeah.
idiot. How many more of these losses is it going to take to just change the trajectory of the franchise to making us look competent? How many more do we have to endure?
You're probably gonna get at least 2 or 3 more this season, unfortunately.
Definitely going to happen against the Lions or the Packers.
Yeah.
It's going to happen against the Packers twice.
And here's the thing. I think that 49ers game could be disastrous, because you're looking,
It's going to be their coming out party.
and because that you're probably going to have McCaffrey back by then. Who knows what they do at the deadline? Purdy seems to be getting past his early season struggles. I think that game could be very ugly, especially with the Bears going to San Francisco.
This game against the Cardinals is a must win.
It has to be. If
If
you,
you-
and
100%.
you have to throttle
yeah,
them.
no, it has to be a win. If it's a loss, then firing Eberflus has to be on the table.
You have
Yeah.
to take them to the woodshed. That's the position that Eberflus
Yeah.
has put himself in.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And I mean, the thing is, you could be 6-3 when you go to Green Bay, but you know what? I think it's going to take more than just a win there for me to feel really good about this whole thing. Frankly, I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
still going to be shell shocked by the time this is all over. So
Yeah. I
New
just
England is playing people tough, so
Drake
that's
May.
that's not going to be easy.
Yeah, if Drake May gets. I mean, he has 2 weeks, but assuming he gets out of concussion protocol before then, I think
Sure, yes.
that's a sneaky game. But here's the thing why I fall back on what are we doing? Let's rewind the tape to last season, entering the Washington Commanders game. Circumstances were a little bit different. The Bears had yet to win that season, but they were on, was it like a 12 or 13 game winning streak, or not winning streak, losing streak. What was the talk going into that game? Oh, the Bears have to win or Eberflus is going to be fired.
correct. Yes.
A little bit different, but same point remains entering this Cardinals game. If the Bears lose this Cardinals game, Eberflus has to be fired. But the fact that we're even entertaining such a discussion for 2 consecutive seasons is just more proof that you got the head coach wrong.
Yeah, Bears
Yeah.
football, baby.
Yep, that's
That's
what they
right.
do. So I think that's a good place to kind of leave off with the Bears and
Thank
football.
God.
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
about a 45-minute. That's
Yeah.
that's taken up 3/4 of our show. But just as we move on here, some baseball notes right now. The World Series is going on. The Dodgers are up 3-0. We had an epic
Please
game
win it.
one.
Let's just say congratulations to the Dodgers,
Yeah.
World Series champions.
I mean, the episode comes out on Thursday, so either tonight or tomorrow.
I ain't clapping yet. I'll wait until next week.
Yeah.
What
There
has
you go.
this postseason proven to you?
You have
It
to
ain't
spend money.
over until it's over. That
Yep.
too.
Oh, sorry.
yeah.
That too.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I mean,
Tommy,
you're
Tommy
not
was getting
wrong.
ready to shit from Matt Eberflus and Jed Hoyer so quick.
You know those two go out to dinner.
They have to.
Yeah, they go to
have
McDonald's.
Yeah, they only do it at the dollar menu too.
Yeah,
the the wrap McChicken. Does it
and
have
then
coli?
and then Jed asked Matt to pick him up so he doesn't have to put miles on his car.
Hey, buddy,
No.
you want to pick me up?
Oh, come on, guys. We
Cat,
all know Jed.
right?
It's just value menu guy, and Matt Eberflus has to front the bill.
So can we do this? Can we do it? I was rifling through the athletics, which by the way, having an athletic member or like subscription,
Oh, it's great.
perfect. Yeah, I love the athletic.
I would venture to guess every Cubs fan needs it because Patrick Mooney, so how the Sharma,
Yeah.
I would say the 2 best.
Freddie
reporters.
Freeman just homered again.
Seriously?
I kid you not. It is
Damn.
2-0 in the first.
I'm
inning.
so
Wow.
mad because I
That
was
is
going to.
6 World Series games in a row that Freddie Freeman has hit a home run.
I'm kicking myself because I was going to put a bet on a Freddie Freeman home run
Oh,
tonight and didn't.
I mean, he may be the MVP of all World Series.
Welcome to the hot stove, boys. Dodgers are winning tonight.
Anyways, I went to the Athletic and I
Yes.
clicked on an article mistakenly. Top 45 MLB free
Oh,
agents
that's a mistake.
2025. And I just wanted to see the first time I would see the Cubs name. And it
Good
was
luck.
drum roll please, Cody Bellinger. Why?
Well, you did you not scroll down and see us next to Blake Trinan?
I stopped.
That was.
I
that-
am pre-mad. I'm pre-mad. I'm just ready to
Well-
shit on whatever we don't do. I'm
Well,
pre-mad that we don't get Juan Soto. All right. We're not getting Juan Soto. I know we're
No.
not getting Juan Soto. I'm pre-mad about it.
When that article came out, it was funny. Jake and I were talking. We're like, we wanna be mad, but like we get it because if you just follow everything the Cubs have said,
Well, yeah.
those predictions are spot on. They're not going to be
Exactly. And these
Yeah.
writers, they know. It was like, oh, the Cubs aren't going to do shit.
Yeah.
Bingo. We're
Yeah.
2025 is 2024 is 2023. Strap in, boys. Let's have some fun. Hot stove season doesn't matter on the north side of Chicago.
I mean, so good. So, puts money in my wallet. It's good clicks for the website. So content about that.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the Dodgers get whoever the hell they want.
I know. You guys had to go after Juan Soto too. That'd be fun.
If they get him, I
I
honestly
think
don't know if I want to watch baseball next year.
I think the Yankees getting swept might be the best thing to happen for them getting Juan Soto back, because it's like
Oh, yeah.
business is unfinished
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
and he's going to want to come back.
Maybe.
I think this is the best thing that could have happened to their campaign of getting Juan Soto to come back to the Bronx.
No, I would say winning a World Series because I feel like you win. He's not gonna be like, oh,
I feel like if he won it, he would be like, I want to go do this somewhere else.
Well, he's gonna win.
I've done it in Washington. I've done it in New York. Let's go to the other side of town and do it.
No, he would get. I mean, maybe personally, he probably wouldn't care, but like he would get destroyed. Oh my! It would actually be kind of fun to think about. Had he win the World Series and then sign with the Mets, that coverage would be great.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
I think he would do it, but I think he has a better chance of staying with the Yankees if they, especially if they get swept.
Yeah, I've always leaned Yankees when it comes to still this free agency. The only thing that it's probably at like a 96%. The only reason why I put it at 4% is just if the Mets just go crazy and be like, look, here's
Done it before.
$900 million.
I'll tell you what, a prime Juan Soto is a lot smarter of investment than a very, very old combination of Justin Verlander and Max Scherzer. I can tell you that.
That's true.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get pre-mad. You know what? Are we done with baseball? Can we be done with the baseball?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
The only thing else I have to say is the White Sox are closing in on their next manager.
Who cares?
It's gonna be someone cheap. It's whatever.
They stink. They're gonna stink for a long time.
I'll just say this, and far be it for me to not praise, but not be mad at something the White Sox should do. Just give it to Grady Sizemore for
what does it
everything
matter?
And for everything that went wrong with the White Sox season last year, the one thing I will say, it seems like there was a positive, not spin because they still lost the time. There was a morale boost with Sizemore as a manager.
Yeah,
so
he got thrown out a couple times for defending
while
his
you're
boys.
while you're in these next 2, 3, maybe even 5 seasons where you're not going to be good, just give it to Sizemore, and he's going to be cheap. It's going to be his first managerial gig. Just give it to him and call it a day, and then we'll see you in 2032.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. Hey, you know who's good at winning in this town?
Nobody.
The Chicago Bulls and the Chicago Blackhawks.
500, baby.
What?
Bulls are back.
The Bulls went up to Milwaukee and just wiped the floor with the Bucks.
That was nice.
And then last night they were like 7-point dogs in Memphis. They were down 20-something.
Jacking threes.
And then they just jacked threes. And they made them. It was what? And then the Blackhawks are in Colorado. And I'm like, oh, just take the over. It's going to be 8-0. Okay, let's just beat the Avalanche right quick.
They needed that because it's been a pretty rough ride for the Hawks lately. But yeah, I mean, you got some good scoring last night. You're seeing Lucas Reichel do things. That's really good to see.
Yeah.
And for the Bulls, my man Kobe White, he's playing well. Vooch, outside of that dunk he allowed to Giannis, has been playing decently. So give him props to that. The Milwaukee game was really nice because we went up to our rival's house and spoiled their home opener. So that felt really, really good. Obviously we came home and we got killed. So, and good thing they didn't have Ja last night. Yeah, right.
I mean, the Thunder are title contenders.
Oh yeah, and I will say I'm legitimately shocked how effective Lonzo Ball has been so far. I mean, it's only 15, 16 minutes a night, but like
shooting the ball, passing.
I was about to say, like, I thought in preseason, I'm like, this isn't sustainable in the regular season. Teams are just going to attack him. But so far,
he looks like
he
looks like UCLA Lonzo.
Yeah,
it's been fun.
Yeah, it's as long as like last night's game was like the perfect thing for what the Bulls season can be. You're jacking up threes. It's a fun, exciting game. As long as that's the case that we see moving forward, the Bulls might still be bad in the end run, but if those are the games, I have a fun time watching.
Yeah, I mean, and take advantage of it too, boys and girls, because I looked today just because I was curious. I found $20 tickets for Bulls games.
Oh,
so it's a thing.
Yeah.
Go Bulls. Go Hawks.
Yay.
Alex,
Yes,
do
sir.
you know who acknowledged our tribal chief last Friday?
Who?
Main event Jey Uso. The original bloodline is back.
We're so back. Did you see Seth die last night?
Oh my god. The best part was Seth was wearing a blue jacket. He rips off his blue jacket, and it's pretty much the exact same shirt. It was like, oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh man, we're
Yeah.
so back.
Yeah.
And then they'll get Sami Zayn back, kind of on the outskirts of the bloodline story. Oh, we're feasting from that Netflix.
Alex, just you wait. You don't have to watch now, but come
Yeah.
January, you have to watch.
Yeah, we'll fill you in at the end of each episode about what's going on now, but like
Yeah.
January 6th, once they debut on Netflix, that's the time to be.
And my cousin and I are in preliminary talks for the Royal Rumble in Indianapolis.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know, McAfee will probably be back by then. College football is done.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
assume that's when Pat McAfee will come back, but
Yeah.
obviously it doesn't super hit at the live show because you can't hear him say words. Which I think that they should allow some sort of something. Like, you know how you can go to a baseball game and like bring a radio and you can listen to the radio broadcast? I need a Pat McAfee. I need a hot mic on Pat McAfee at all times.
Oh, wait, I got an idea. Since there's a chance that the World Series is going to end today. Next time we record, we might have actual Cubs important things to talk about because if the World Series ends today, Cody Bellinger has 5 days to make his player option. Really quick, what do you guys think? Opting in, opting out? I'm gonna say opt out.
I still think opt in.
Opt in.
I
think it would be silly. I don't think anybody's giving him a long-term deal that he's looking for. And this athletic thing hasn't met like 3 years, 100 million or something. Who's paying that?
I'm going to just lean towards opt out. And I'm not saying that based on how I feel and what I see in the performance. I feel like there's some smoke around there. And when there's smoke, there's somewhat of a fire. I'm not fully committed to this answer, but that's where I'm leaning towards right now. So that's what I'm going to give.
The contract prediction is 4 years, 112 million. I just don't see anybody doing that.
Yeah,
it took him forever to get cranked up last year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a team.
Oh, well, there was wind. I forgot.
And there's also a team out there that gave Dansby Swanson 7 years, 177 million. So
but he was okay, but he was also like one of the top shortstops on the market. Don't.
He was fourth of the 4 shortstops that were worth signing.
He's the best shortstop in terms of playing the position. He is the best.
Oh, okay, yeah. In terms of all right,
yeah.
In terms of playing shortstop, I will give you guys that.
Yeah,
he's the best shortstop.
He's not the best hitting shortstop, but he is the best shortstop.
And I will remain that. Oh my god! So there was a foul ball. And Mookie Betts caught it, and the fan like tried to rip the ball out of his glove.
Yankees fans.
That's incredible. Anyways, I think the Cubs are great with Dansby. I love Dansby.
Oh no, yeah, I was just being facetious. I'm not too worried about that.
Good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just like to roll the grenade out there.
Yeah.
To get
I'll say that he opts back in just to be different. Honestly,
that'd be fun.
Like I see a bunch of stuff about him opting out. Obviously, I still don't think his market is there. So I'm going to say opt in.
Yeah, it should be interesting. Yeah, either way, it'll be like the first big domino of the offseason. So
sure. Yeah,
I'm sure we will get. Yeah. Well, we should have the official answer by the next time we record.
Oh, I'm looking at this play. Oh yeah, wow, that is.
Did you see him? They and his friend was like grabbing Mookie's other hand to not let him. It was wild. They're probably going to get thrown out. They probably paid thousands of dollars for those seats.
Oh yeah,
and they didn't even last an inning.
I know.
Wild.
Yeah, for sure. Well, who's naming the episode this week? Tommy, is it your turn?
I think I did it last week.
Did you? I can't remember.
I believe it's Jordan's turn.
Yeah, you might be right on that.
Because last week I said Jed sucks or something, but Caleb.
Yeah. Anyway, Jordan.
Let's do new beard, same dumb coach.
All right. New beard, same dumb coach. That is perfect. That is
I love
absolutely
it.
perfect. That might be one of our best ones
That's
yet.
a good one.
Good job,
That's a
Jordan.
good
All
one.
right.
Hell
Well,
yeah.
everybody, thank you all for listening to Thru Garden. Be sure to check us all out on Twitter X. You could check us out individually on Twitter X, and you could also check out this show on Twitter X at Thru Garden. Also, be sure to check us out on YouTube, Apple, and all our other platforms. So until next time, that's Jordan, that's Tommy, I'm Alex. Have a great night. I hate being a Bears fan, and I'm sure you do too.
See you guys next